What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division PTS video. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new Hotshot gear set. We're going to compare it to just other marksman rifle sets in the game, just to see where the damage lies, see where the versatility lies, and just see if overall it's going to be a worthwhile add to the game, and to use up one of your very valuable loadout slots. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you are notified when I upload more Division videos. Even better, go over to Twitch and hit follow. I could be streaming it live right now. And if you need help with anything with the Division, I have a community Discord that is always willing to help. You'll find the link down below in the description. And with all that said, let's get started. Alright, so I've got the Hotshot on now. This is a build that I put together. You'll find the video for that in one of my previous videos. But just to remind ourselves very quickly, two pieces gives us 30% marksman rifle damage and 30% weapon handling, and then 30% headshot damage as well for the three piece, which is really nice. But then if you can see here, we get the first shot with the marksman rifle will increase the next headshot by 20%. Alright, so first headshot with a marksman rifle will increase the next headshot by 20%. Now, it's not the best description, but we're assuming this means headshot damage perhaps, and second consecutive headshot with an MR will give you 10% armor. We're not bothered at that point, although it does cycle and it's pretty hard to cycle, so let's just go with the first headshot for the increased damage, and we're not bothered looking at the survivability section of it at all. So at the moment I've got an SVD on, a surplus SVD, and if I just shoot this here, it's really stable. And with any other set that we've got in the game, you know, unless we're putting braced on the chest, which it ends up making you lose damage, the first thing going for the Hotshot is it's going to make all marksman rifles super stable. And that's always been the advantage that the M1A has had in the game, which is obviously just a rifle, but that's why, you know, you can put out so much damage with that as well. So that's the first, you know, point here. Let's put this on. Let's go right up to. We'll keep it on just invulnerable. Let's go invulnerable elite. We'll look at the damage to armor numbers, a bit more realistic. And you can see here, building up the bonus from Hotshot. You're getting the armor. You know, and it's about 2.9 mil is when you can see we get the bonus damage. But obviously, Headhunter's not kicking in here because we're never killing an enemy. There's a crit there at 3.4. Yeah, so you know, we're looking at 3 mil normal, 3.4 if we get lucky with a crit headshot, and we don't stack into crit, so we're not that fussed about taking that damage into any real equation. So let's just go back to the regular elites. These are what we'll be fighting on hard content, and we get some headhunter buff here now. You know, and we get 6.7 million there. Pretty nice. But you know, SVD isn't very, you know, isn't widely used. I know a lot of people like the Dread now. Let's come off this one. We can equip the. You know, if you have to remind yourself what the Dread is, shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 20. Headshots grants 2 stacks. Each stack grants 2% weapon damage and 5% headshot damage. On reload, clear all stacks and gain 5% of your max armor. Yeah, I like giving these snipers some survivability. So we breached 7 there, 9. And we've got to the top of the stacks now. And we are one-shotting at, you know, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 million. So yeah, pretty consistent elite one-shotting, but obviously that's with both Headhunter and the Dread maxed out. Mantis as well, another popular one. All zoomed in though, like, take this into account. All of these rifles are zoomed in play, and that's why I had the SVD on at the beginning. I don't particularly like zoomed in play that much, but that obviously is hitting harder again. And I'm assuming these buffs don't class as targeting us, so we're getting the extra damage buff from the Mantis, but you know, with the crit there, you know, we hit 30. And then we've got 28. Yeah, 28. So again, more damage, but you know, we can't spam this. It's a 1 bullet round. So yeah, some options there. The Dread looking the best so far. I mean, we could go real big damage here. And we know with the Nem, we're going to do huge numbers. Yeah, there we go, 69. But it's a playstyle and doesn't necessarily suit solo playstyle very well at all. So, you know, that's the options with him with that. Other guns, I mean, there's the new Relic. This one I've got damage target, cover perfect focus. After killing an enemy with a headshot, the next headshot landed on enemy will be guaranteed a critical. So we might as well have a look at it. This next one's going to be a crit, you know, and it's pretty low. Pretty low. And it's not as stable as the SVD either. And the SVD, we were killing things in 2 hits, were we? Just go back and just have a quick look at the surplus SVD with Ranger on instead. No, so still 3 hits, but much more stable. And obviously, if we were further, you know, let's go 10 meters. We're gonna up the chances, aren't we? Basically, because of Ranger. We're still 3, but 15 meters. Still 3 again. 2, yeah. Okay, there we go. Got the chance of 2, depending on the crits, I guess. With the Ranger bonus, and that's quite far away. You know, we're not always going to be definitely playing, and we still don't. Even Ranger still doesn't do it. So crit is needed to kill anything with 2, but it's more stable than the new Relic. So I would still stick with the surplus SVD. Maybe that new talent. Maybe Focus, whatever that turns out to be. That's a placeholder name at the moment. Maybe that might beat out Ranger, but we don't know. The White Death, definitely a play style. But I don't think we're gonna have any issues there at one tapping. There's some great big numbers as well. If you like the White Death, I don't like how it kicks out. But again, yeah, that's gonna be absolutely fine. So I tell you what then. So let's flip over now to my tip of the spear build. Now, the reason I like to run the tip of the spear build is I like to use the TAC 50. The TAC 50 is absolutely stable. It hits really hard, and as you can see here, this is the loadout that I usually use. We're going to flick over to the Dread instead. If you're wondering what tip does, we get some signature weapon damage, we get some weapon damage, and then we get dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds, and we auto generate that as well. Using the backpack, we increase signature weapon damage by a further 20%, and we double the amount of special ammo that we get. So with just the tip on, we'll zoom in here now, and you can see for a start we're doing way less damage. You know, we hit a 6 on a crit, but you know, we're at 3 shots rather than 2. But the minute we're going to do this, we're obviously going to kill it, and then we're going to catch up with damage quite easily. So between the two, I already know the results. The new hotshot gear set is consistently doing more damage, but the tip of the spear gives us the ability, because of using the sniper, attack 50, it gives us the ability to do much more spike damage. But I mean, let's face it, we could flip over to the hotshot and use the TAC 50, although we wouldn't be regenerating ammo, you know, naturally. We'd obviously be regenerating ammo from headshot kills. We could still do that spiky damage, and I think, you know, I think as much as I've always loved the tip of the spear, the hotshot build might just end up replacing it. It's just got a lot of inbuilt damage, And the same will come to pass with aces as well. You know, the aces obviously gives us the benefit of being able to do spiked damage. And I think although that will win out in spike damage against Hotshot, the consistency up with it, and I think that's probably where it's intended to be, is really, really good. And it's just exactly as I'm expected. I'm doing a little bit less damage. A bit more spike damage when it comes to... Although saying that, I haven't got the buff then. That damage didn't change. That didn't change. Dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds. I didn't see a change in my Mantis damage then after using the TAC 50. Maybe it's broken? Let's just check. Let's just wait for that tips logo at the bottom to go. Although that should be indicating me getting special ammo. Let's just double check. Let it wear out. Maybe the range is being buggy. Alright, there we go. It's gone. So Mantis without any buff. So 6.5 and 5. 14. 16. 16. So we're set at 16 now. Yeah, okay. It was the damage buff. Obviously we had the Headhunter damage buff as well. And there you go. Now you can see we've got the aggressive recon on. And yes, we get the damage buff. We're at 20 now as opposed to nearly 17. So yeah, so it definitely does provide, the new set definitely with any gun provides solidarity and a lot of consistency. Didn't save the loadout, that was a mistake. But basically because of this, the weapon handling is the key here. The weapon handling absolutely brings in all of the guns to make them viable. There's so many marksman rifle guns out there that are completely unviable at the moment because an M1A is just better. Hotshot gives you the option for them all to be really good. You know, and you need a Heraldi backpack, get yourself a chain killer. You know, and you know you can play with the Dread. A lot of people like the Dread. For me, I like using the surplus SVD again. You know, I could build, and like I said before, we could put the Dread on with it. And let's just have we got some TAC 50 ammo still? Yeah, we have. All right, so let's just have a look. Yeah, I mean, all right, it does hit slightly less the TAC 50, but it still did 36 million. Well, I did 56 million then as well, so. Yeah, I'm liking it. I am liking it a lot. And although it won't be as spiky in damage as the tip of the spear build, it won't be as... And I'm missing a mod now because I've just been messing around with it. And although it won't be as spiky in damage as Aces, I think for consistency and opening up the availability to start using other marksman rifles again that we couldn't do because of this huge amount of weapon handling that comes. We used to have to put braced on and we were docking ourselves damage there. It just makes all of a sudden... a lot of other marksman rifles much more viable, and I guess that's probably the reason this set has come to play, just to make gameplay variety much better. There is obviously the brand new Sacrium Imperium. I did a small review on that. Be sure to go and check that video out. I don't like that it's got swap speed, but let's just take a quick look at one other thing on this. So if we go to mod it, you can see this looks like a capacitor scope. And if we look at the actual mod on it, the optic, it gives us 20% headshot damage. But it does look like it should be able to zoom in. But when you go to it, it acts like a red dot. And what I did want to check is, I must have my capacitor on here. There's my capacitor. So with the capacitor, you can zoom in like this. But on the Sacrium, you can't. It doesn't let you zoom in at all. It doesn't. So hopefully we can use it like this, because it is a really nice gun. I just hope that, as you can see here, the tagging takes too long. I really do hope that they do change the requirement for the tagging, and the swap speed could just go away. We don't need that. But compared together with the SVD, at the moment the SVD wins out. So it needs a slight buff with a tweak in the talent, and it would be good. So that's my kind of quick comparison of Hotshot to Tip of the Spear in the main. Although Aces we did talk about a little bit as well. But yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's a great add to the game. I will probably change out my Tip of the Spear build. I never thought I would say that, to use Hotshot instead. I think basically me being able to run an SVD and the Dread, an SVD and my Nemesis, just gives me so much more sniper versatility, and I think it's really good. I think the as long as they don't change this weapon handling bonus here, I think it will be really good, and I think it's definitely a nice add to the game for people who like playing marksmans. And I don't think that's going to favour too much with controllers, because the 4-piece bonus is really hard to keep maintained. But I definitely do think PC players will be happy for a marksman style build that is pretty versatile and does also give survivability, which we've not really talked about. That is going to be it for this video. If there's anything else on the PTS you would like me to check out, if there is anything else at all that you would like me to do a video on before it comes to an end, there's not that much in this PTS this time around. I guess we're all going to be waiting for the Year 5 season reveal that hopefully will come soon, and will be much more chunkier and feature Descent, we hope. That's really what we're going to be waiting for. In the meantime, I'm going to be stacking my expertise levels up, getting to level 21, although I think, let's just double check, with this new gear, yes, we will go all the way up to level 22 as well, which is you know, a little bit of extra grind for everybody as well, and a little bit of extra damage as well if you've managed to get your guns all the way up to 21 now and 22. That's going to be it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like I said before, if you want anything covering from the PTS, just let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Come on over to Twitch and hit follow. Catch that next stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.